hot dog this morning. Happy to be sharing leadership of today's service with Reverend Cindy Terlazzo, our guest minister this morning, with Yvonne Duvall, Director of Music, Leanne Klingensmith, our new accompanist, Kendra Trufanistock, song leader, and Amy Firestein and David Spear, our fabulous tech team. Whether you are a member or a visitor joining us in person, or if you're worshiping virtually, we are so happy that you've chosen to join us this morning. For our worshipers online, a Zoom online coffee hour will follow services starting at 11:30 a.m. For those here in person, we'll have coffee hour in person in the common room downstairs. Please speak with Mike McCullough if you're interested in helping with coffee hour. We're so happy you've chosen to worship with us, and we welcome you to our fellowship hours and any other in-person or online activities held by UCH. In the spirit of the transformative power of community in all its forms, I'm so happy to welcome you to UCH. Whoever you are, wherever you live, whomever you love, whatever you do for a living, you are welcome at the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg.
I invite you now to enter into worship with the words of Donna Ashworth. Joy does not arrive with a fanfare on a red carpet strewn with the flowers of a perfect life. Joy sneaks in as you pour a cup of coffee, watching the sun hit your favorite tree just right. And you usher joy away because you're not ready for it. Your house is not as you think it must be for such a distinguished guest. But joy cares nothing for your messy home or your bank balance or your waistline, you see. Joy is supposed to slither through the cracks of your imperfect life. That's how joy works. You cannot invite her in. You can only be ready when she arrives. And hug her with meaning, because in this very moment, joy is choosing you.
Our chalice lighting this morning are words by Reverend Leslie Takahashi. As we light our chalice today, let us remember that all that we have ever loved and all that we have ever been stands with us on the brink of all that we aspire to create, a deeper peace, a larger love, a more embracing hope, a deeper joy in this life we share. Please join in reading our covenant, which is also our unison affirmation, as printed in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
This morning's opening song is This Joy, originally written by Shirley Caesar, but the version we are singing today is by the Resistance Revival Chorus. The lyrics are simple, and you'll pick it up as the song goes along. It's this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. We sing that 3 times, and then the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. And each time we sing it, we will change the word joy to something else, and you'll pick it up as we go along. Please rise in body or spirit.
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that? This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world didn't take it. Oh, this strength that I have, this strength that I have. I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Oh, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that? This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Sing it, the world didn't give it, the world can't take it. Oh, this pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that? This pride that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it. Oh, this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Won't you sing about peace? Oh, yeah. The world didn't give it to me. Singing, the world didn't give it, the world can't take it. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it, the world didn't give it to me. That I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh no, this
So, we have a special surprise now, and I have a couple of youth volunteers I think who are going to help with this. Is that right? Are you in the house? So, there are bubble ones up here under the piano, and we need to distribute them throughout the congregation. So, while they're doing that, I need all of you, you're going to be participants in this if you so choose. So, throughout the service, there's going to be a special word that is going to invite you to use your bubble wand for good purposes. So, the word joy is the theme of the service today. Joy as an act of resistance and revolutionary love. So, as the service goes on, once you have a wand in your hand, and there may not be enough wands for everybody, so share them if you need to. When you hear the word joy, that's going to be your invitation to let some bubbles fill this room, okay? That's going to be your job. So as soon as the wands are distributed, we will proceed. Okay. I think we have them distributed. So, the time for all ages today is a story called Joy. And it is by Reverend Dr. Lynn Unger. So she tells the story of a UU minister by the name of Bill Clark. And he tells a story about being at the beach after a long, hard day, and I think that you all know what long, hard days might be like. The past many months for him had been particularly difficult. He was exhausted, he was sad, and he was wondering how he could possibly go on. Then, across what he thought was an empty beach, Bill heard something. He heard a woman shouting, but it quickly became clear to him that she was not in distress. In fact, what she was shouting over and over again was, "Joy! Joy!" All of a sudden, something shifted in Bill's heart. It was almost a revelation. It was possible to choose joy even in the midst of great difficulty. It was possible to be so committed to joy, so overwhelmed by joy, that one would need to stand and shout it to the very wind and the waves. Well, touched as he was by this stranger's declaration of joy, Bill decided to join in. "Joy!" he called to the woman. "Joy!" he called to the seagulls. "Joy!" he called to the sand and the sea. Joy! And you know what? Each time that he called out, he felt his heart lifting. And each time he called out, he felt more connection with this stranger, and through her to the whole world of people trying to find their own joy. And then you know what happened? A damp and sandy golden retriever came running from behind a sand dune and dashed up to the woman. "Joy, there you are." "Time to go home." And with that, the woman leashed up her dog, Joy, and headed off. So there are lots of reasons why this story is so endearing. And it's not just because there's a dog in it. Although it's about a kind of mistaken identity, I think it really has a lot to say, something about how we find joy. For one thing, joy does not come when we call. There are lots of reasons that make us feel as if joy has fled the scene. It could be illness, injury, lost friendships or loved ones, boring work, teachers or bosses who don't understand or appreciate us. The list of things that can rob us of our joy is pretty much endless. And when we've lost our sense of joy, it doesn't necessarily come rushing back the instant we know that it's gone. And it certainly doesn't help for other people to tell us to smile or that we should just get over whatever is bothering us. You can't be bullied or talked into feeling joy. And sometimes it just does not respond when it is called. But maybe calling does make a difference. Believing that joy is out there, knowing that you want to walk together, finding a way to let joy know that you are available might just eventually work. Maybe not by hollering joy at random strangers, but by remembering and turning toward the things that have given you joy in the past. Things like dancing and singing, going for a walk, reading a good book, talking and being silly with your friends, and eating chocolate. I bet that you all have lots of other good ideas of things that have brought you joy in the past. Joy doesn't always come when you call, but it comes sooner if you let it know where to find you. And I'm going to just take a little pause here. For all of our friends who are remote today, if you have bubbles that you can grab quickly, you're welcome to join in for the rest of the service with your own bubbles, and if not, just enjoy all of this here. If you can't find joy, maybe you could start by looking for some of its friends and relatives. For instance, gratitude often hangs out with joy. And if you can't find your way to gratitude, you might keep your eyes open for wonder and amazement. And surprisingly, detachment, while it's not a relative of joy, it lives in the same house. You will not be able to get through the door unless you leave behind a whole bunch of expectations about how things need to be. The house of detachment has a very narrow front entry hall with no room to bring your baggage about how the world needs to follow your rules. But if you can leave that baggage at the doorstep, you will not only find that the house is like Doctor Who's TARDIS, bigger on the inside, you might also discover that joy is sitting there at the kitchen table drinking a cup of tea. Now, I can't guarantee that any of these suggestions will lead you straight to joy. There are times you might very well feel as if joy has run off entirely and moved in with someone else. But generally speaking, if you are willing to call to joy long enough, eventually it will show up. Wet and sandy, tongue hanging out of the side of its mouth, ready to romp with you all the way home. And now, I would suggest that you put your lid on. You may use it throughout the rest of the service when you hear that special word. But for now, you're invited to rise in body and or spirit, to sing hymn number 1024 when the Spirit says do. And you probably don't need the hymnal because it's easy to pick up, but when the Spirit says do.
You gotta do
blood going. So much is going on in the world at large, in this faith community, in our personal lives that has been challenging to navigate lately. Activist Valarie Kaur reminds us that in the face of horrors visited upon our world daily, in the struggle to protect our loved ones, and you can still use the wands if you want, choosing to let joy in is a revolutionary act. And I think that that is worth repeating. Choosing to let joy in is a revolutionary act. It returns us to everything that is good and beautiful and worth fighting for. This community has been through a lot in the last couple of months. And I want to assure you that making room for joy does not cancel out the array of feelings you may be holding. Rather, making room for joy to arrive is a declaration and a reminder that choosing joy is an act of resistance. It is an act that says, despite challenge, despite hurt and confusion, I will not let the hardships of the world have the final say. After all, this joy that we are was not given to us by the world, and the world cannot take it away. And for that very reason, it made sense to me to carve out some time now to bring a focus on joy front and center. You know, what is joy anyway? We've been talking about it, we've been singing about it, we've been blowing bubbles about it all morning. But what is it really? I'm guessing that you all know it when you feel it. There was a definition that I came across describing joy as a state of mind and an orientation of the heart. And I really like that idea. Joy being an orientation of the heart. The Time for All Ages story reminded us that joy does not always come when it's called. We cannot be talked into feeling joy. Joy doesn't stand by to be had at our beck and call, but the circumstances for evoking joy can be cultivated. Happiness, which is a very close relative to joy, tends to be an emotion that is externally triggered. Psychologist Raquel Fernley tells us that happiness is generally based upon other people, places, thoughts, and events that take place outside of ourselves. Joy, on the other hand, comes when we look inside, when we are able to make peace with who we are, why we are, and how we are in the world. And making peace with ourselves can be a process. It takes cultivation. It takes a conscious choice to orient ourselves in such a way that we are willing to open ourselves to the wonder and goodness that we are and the wonder and goodness that exists around us. And this is something that children know instinctively, and I think that that is why it's so often that our faces light up. We feel joy when we see babies and little children exploring the world with such openness and delight. It reminds us of our own innate orientation to wonder. Young children have not made the shift from their unconditioned understanding that they are indeed wonder and goodness incarnate. They have not yet abandoned their inner compass to the dictates of the world. They make room for joy to arrive all the time. As adults, it takes a willingness to leave behind harsh judgments of ourselves and all the expectations we use to should ourselves and the world at large into being something that simply may not be as we wish it would be. I am endlessly grateful for the gift of this path of ministry that I'm on. I'm responding to, I'm saying yes to an inner calling that has been tugging at me for decades. Through this experience, I have come to make peace with the fact that I am not perfect. And that's a shocking revelation, I know. I long to do my best. I long to be well received, to make a positive difference in the lives of those that I touch, but I make mistakes. I say things that are not politically correct at times, not perfectly delivered. I may not live up to others' expectations, but I am coming to embrace the fullness of who I am. I'm making peace with who I am, why I am the person I am, and how I show up in the world. Making peace with myself allows me to extend the gift of grace to others as well. And this sense of inner alignment does indeed open the door so that I can spot joy sitting at my kitchen table, drinking tea with increasing frequency. And while joy is something that cannot be certain to come when we call, I do believe that it's contagious. When one person opens themselves to the expression of joy within their lives, I believe that the invitation is made to those around us to do the same. Just like the bubbles here this morning, a simple invitation just to be, just to enjoy, to make room for wonder and delight, making room for joy to arrive. So now, we're going to try an experiment. We're going to open this service up so that you all can call out to joy, so that you can share with this beloved community what brings you joy, or perhaps give voice to some fashion to the wonder and goodness that you know that you are. It might feel a little risky, it might be a little uncomfortable, but I absolutely believe that your willingness to call out to joy will invite joy to show up. Wet and sandy, tongue hanging out of the side of its mouth, ready to romp with you all the way home. So Laura's going to help here. We're going to start on this side of the sanctuary. She's going to move, and she has a mic, and you're just invited to call out to joy. You can just say joy. You can say what brings you joy. But this is your opportunity for invitational joy.
Singing.
Yeah, just shout it out. Raise your hand, shout it out.
Being here and belonging here.
Being married to Larry 30 years tomorrow.
Grandkids. Yes.
Beautiful fall colors. Having my son ordained here.
Woo! Raise your hand, and we haven't forgotten the other side.
Great grandkids.
You weird people.
Margaret and Wilbur, my puppies.
My grandchildren celebrating my birthday with me.
Belting out with somebody dressed in a hot dog costume.
Playing video games with my friends.
Watching my partner's joy in the ocean the first time we had our anniversary at the beach.
Playing sports.
It's good. I love spiders.
Spiders. Anybody else want to call out to Joy?
All you weird people.
Amen.
I love you.
And Amy, if there's anybody that's put anything in the chat, let us know, okay?
They have not.
Okay.
Waterfall.
Oh. Anybody else? Okay, there's another one up here. Okay, one back here.
Wide open heart and being married to her for 40 years.
Her is Reverend Cindy.
And I think we had another one up here.
Hot dog.
Being married to Nan for 57 years last Sunday, and realizing she still wants me to hang around.
His beloved community.
Yeah. All right.
The aroma of baking bread.
Especially when you're baking for the auction for all of us.
Okay. If you have not publicly shared your call to joy this morning, I invite you to make time to share with someone during coffee hour or some other point today. And I'm going to leave you with this quote by Valarie Kaur. We can't force joy, but we can make space for it. May we look up at the night sky. May we let joy in. For we will be someone's ancestors one day. If we show up with our whole hearts, they will inherit not our fear, but bravery born of joy. So may it be so.
Thank you so much, Reverend Cindy. This is the time in our service where we invite you to share a joy, a sorrow, or a concern. And you can keep sharing joys, that's fine. And you can share joys, sorrows and concerns as well. For those worshiping online, please feel free to type your concern in the chat, and one of our techs will prepare a slip to share. For our in-person worshipers, we invite you to come forward to light a candle, put a stone in the water, and/or write a message to be shared. If a message is written, please indicate if you don't wish your message to be shared out loud. And please do indicate if you wish ongoing pastoral care. To keep the flow moving smoothly, please come up the middle aisle and return to your seats using the side aisles. And spoken or unspoken, your joy, sorrow, or concern is held in our thoughts and prayers. You have so much to say today. This is wonderful. Brianna Hayes shares that I'm in my school's jazz band and I'm auditioning for our county band in January. Ooh, that's exciting. Joy is Outer Banks beaches, music, and this is a very uplifting service. I don't have a name for this one, but thank you.
Those were just the ones shared online.
Oh, these are the ones shared online. Well, thank you everyone on Zoom. Outer Bank beaches, music, and this is a very uplifting service. So thank you once again for sharing. Mary B says, putting an offer on a house, my partner and I are putting an offer on a house. That's exciting too. And sorrow worrying about having enough for the down payment. Amen. So we have a joy doing stuff with friends. Absolutely. And that is Jason Hayes. Jason, I completely agree. Caroline Park writes, it is with sadness I share our dear Unitarian friend Karen Edwards was admitted to a Arden Court memory care facility on Tuesday. Please keep her, her husband Bill, and daughter Kelly in your thoughts. Thank you for lifting that up, Caroline. And Nan Kavanaugh writes, Joyce with the Kavanaughs who celebrated their 57th wedding anniversary at All Souls Unitarian in D.C. Happy at the child dedication of grand girl Clara. Wow. And Nan says, P.S. Jim is now 81 and going strong. Good job, Jim. She said, with love, Nan. Okay, so got that one. So when we have Larry Beyer and Cordell Effelt were married 30 years ago on Monday in the Harrisburg Sunken Garden by the minister of this church at the time. So congratulations. Happy anniversary. We have so many birthdays and anniversaries and so many things happening. So just wanted to lift that up. Congratulations to everyone. Good luck to everyone auditioning. We send our care and our prayers to those who are struggling and to our friend Karen, who has moved on to a memory care facility, and for all of those unspoken cares and concerns and joys. We hold them all in our heart and lift them up as well. And we'll now have a moment of silence.
And I offer this prayer for dragonflies by Gail Forsyth Dale. Today, let us invoke a spirit of gratitude, joy, and thanksgiving for dragonflies, butterflies, caterpillars on leaves, lizards, wild turkeys, and tigers and deer. We give thanks for sunsets and seashells and starfish and sand, octopus, jellyfish and hammerhead sharks. We give thanks for horses and kitties, small bunnies and dogs, for babies and giggles, and knowing we are loved. We give thanks. And spiders. We give thanks. And now we will have some wonderful music direction with meditation on breathing. It's very simple. Just follow along. You're welcome again to rise in body and or spirit.
When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
The Unitarian Church of Harrisburg is, as always, a freely gathered church of free people. The church is created, sustained, and supported by you. The ministry continues even when the church building is closed, or when it's open, of course. Each month, we share half of our Sunday plate with a local nonprofit organization. For the month of October, UCH will be sharing the plate with Gather the Spirit for Justice, which is GTSFJ. And that's a nonprofit 501c3 organization that brings together Allison Hill residents, area organizations, businesses, and churches to address issues of social justice and economic equity. For more information about this organization, we encourage our congregants here in person to look at the insert you received with your order of service, which also contains additional announcements and information about other important events happening at UCH and within our community. For our worshipers online, we encourage you to read our News You Can Use that was sent out on Friday. For those who wish to contribute online, please see the email with the link for today's service or visit uchbg.org, our homepage for options for contributing. For those here in the sanctuary who wish to contribute in person, the collection plates will be passed around by today's ushers. Your financial support and commitment matter. Please consider giving what you're able. offering included bubbles.
So you have just given your offering for the continuation of the good works that this community offers to the world. And we now have a special offering to give back to you today. It's often said that it's good to give. It's also good to receive. And now it's your turn to receive a special offering. So if I can have my youth volunteer again, and one of our ushers, these baskets, there are some special scrolls to pass out to you. And this is an extension of this idea of joy. Pass them out, take one. You can think about it like a fortune cookie, right? It's a special note. Take it and read it at some point today when you might need just a little reminder. Because it's our reminder to you to seek joy throughout each day. So, well, if you want to play a little bit while they're continuing the offering, you can. If not, we'll just wait until they're done.
Our closing song this morning is We Are Family, and even though choir is up here singing it, I know you all know the words, so please join the choir in singing this one.
So our closing words today are from Heather Ryan Starr. May whatever gatherings or activities we engage in this afternoon help restore us, our connections to one another, our sense of hope, beauty, and fun in this world. Our deep knowing that we have to take care of ourselves and each other with love and joy if we are to soulfully survive the world's mayhem. May you go with a lightness in your heart, and whatever you're carrying, make room for joy. It will come eventually. And as you're going out, there's a couple of boxes that Amy will put by the door to put your bubble wands in, so joy will be spread another time, another place. Thank you so much.